They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equals. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with another breaking news video. Sorry about that. Back with another breaking news video as we break everything down because Jaxson Hayes. All right, Jaxson Hayes has just re-signed with the Lakers, and as you can tell, I'm not very excited about it. He has a no-trade clause because he opted in to another one-year deal. You know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I guess if we wanted DeAndre Ayton, like D-Free said, if we wanted DeAndre Ayton, we had to add this guy. Now, one thing I'll say about Jaxson Hayes is he's a lob threat. That's all the nice things I can say about it. That's literally it. That's it. I can't say nothing else. He's too frail. He's a toothpick. He gets battered in pick and rolls. He doesn't set tough screens, none of that. So, yeah, Lakers re-signed him. I think he's a third option, though. I don't think they're going to feel comfortable with him being a backup. He proved to be unplayable, right? He proved to be unplayable in the playoffs. Now, here's his claim to fame. Here is Jaxson Hayes' claim to fame, right? During the 16-game stretch around the time of the Luka AD deal, Hayes was terrific, okay? According to Dan Wilkie, right? Lakers went 14-2, and he averaged 8 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks. He struggled after the knee injury and the playoffs. Well, that was the playoffs. But with him and DeAndre Ayton, the Lakers have two lob threats at center. That's all the positive things I can say about Jaxson Hayes, literally. Everything else, I don't have, like, you know, Mama always said, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. I'm not happy about this re-signing. It is a veteran's minimum. You know, the Lakers still have the biannual exception. Here's the problem. The Lakers now currently have 15 players under the roster spot, right? Now, there is a chance we can turn down, I think we have a team option on the final year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, of Shake Milton, or we can cut him before his salary is guaranteed before July, I think 15 or something like that. So we could have an open roster slot, and I will talk about more rumors, including Bradley Beal and the Lakers being interested, who I mentioned earlier when I was rebutted by everybody. But I mentioned him earlier, and now apparently the Lakers registered interest in him. But let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about our roster the way we have it. I'll answer some questions and all of that, man. We'll talk about how our roster currently looks. David, appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother. I'm your guy, man. I'm him, brother. I got you. Honestly, I'm not mad. Good locker room guy. I don't know about that. I think his ex-girlfriend has a lot to say about that. All right. We have the biennial exception, which is 5.2 mil. So, yeah, I mean, we still have that, you know. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Honestly, I didn't even want him on the roster, to be honest with you, if I'm being quite frank. Ange said, LOL, I had to mess with you, Dan. It's a lob threat for the minimum. He's decent. He's decent. Not my favorite. I hate what he has become in this league, and I definitely hate what he's done off the court as well. He needs some protein. He needs some milk. That boy needs a lot, right? He needs to have a better head on his shoulders. He needs to be able to strengthen up. He's a toothpick out there. They're moving like nothing. All right, he gets destroyed on pick and rolls. He gets destroyed on everything. Again, lob threat, and once in a while he comes over from the weak side and he gets lucky with a block. That's about it. But, you know, he did good after the Luka trade. He did horrible in the playoffs, proven to be unplayable. This seems more like a Bill Duffy thing. Okay, you guys got DeAndre Ayton. Like D-Free said, you get a 2-for-1 deal, right? Sometimes those 2-for-1 deals on the second half of the two is usually you get the short end of the stick right there. I have a feeling he's a third-string center. As a third-string center who never gets to see the daylight, I'd be okay with it. But until we get a backup, I'm not going to feel comfortable. Lakers signed a backup, and I still feel like we need another backup. That's not a good thing, right? He doesn't really have a no-trade clause. Guys get a de facto no-trade clause when they're in a situation like he is. So that way, they get to choose if they give up their bird rights. So annoying. So annoying. That guy shouldn't have anything, to be honest with you, man. He said Jaxson fouls within 1 minute of entering the game. He just proved to be untrustworthy, both on and off the court, especially in the playoffs. I'm sorry, I can't trust a player like that. I can't. I'd rather get Coloco more minutes and see how he progresses without throughout the season. Right? Absolutely. Coloco all day. Look, I'd rather get Jemison the third. At least he sets tough screens and he's a big body. He's gonna, he's gonna be solid. Yo, what up? What up, Jess Scott? Yeah, I know you're happy about this. Yeah, I'm real happy. I'm really excited. You can tell with the tone of my voice. Jaxson Hayes is the Laker again. Well, at least it's only a 1 year deal. I gotta look at the bright side. It's a 1 year deal, a little bit of insurance policy. That's about it. That's all we can say about him. I know you saw that flavor text sound had in there where he talked about Jackson's defense. He said the problem with him is that we're looking for a big burly center, but he's a perimeter defensive type. Jaxson Hayes is a raw talent that has never developed. He continues to be raw, right? And that's what he is. He's an underdeveloped talent. He said, I agree. And now they can sign Horford for floor spacing. I would love Horford. That makes this signing less bitter for me. Mamba mentality. Appreciate you, bro. He says, seems to me Rob took the obvious option. I would say solid third option, but he's a third option. Rob, we still expect a backup center. Yeah, Rob. Either you give us a backup center, Rob, or you're going to have to suit up and play backup center yourself. All right. Now let's talk about the other option. Thank you so much for Super Chat, brother. Evan Sittery reporting that the Suns have begun an official discussion on a Bradley Beal buyout, which is something I mentioned earlier today that could happen. He could get bought out. Expect the Lakers to be at the forefront for that. We need a bench, and Bradley would be perfect for off the bench. I don't care if he wants to start or not. He's coming off the bench. We would definitely need to cut Shake Milton to make that happen because the Lakers are currently at 15, right? So let's talk about our roster. How about that? Let's bring it up. And you guys tell me, 10 being the highest scale and obviously 0 being the lowest. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a contender, championship contender in the West does this sound to you? Let's start at the point guard position. Luka, Gabe Vincent, Bronny James, and Jordan Goodwin, okay? Shooting guard position, Austin Reeves, Dalton Connect. For now, Shake Milton. Small forward, LeBron James, Jake LaRavia, and Adu Athero, right? And then power forward, Rui, Jared Vanderbilt, and that's it, right? And then center, DeAndre Ayton, Jaxson Hayes, and Maxi Kleber, who you can also slot into the power forward position. That right there is your 15-man roster. And then the two-way contracts, Charles Jamison III, a.k.a. Debo, Christian Coloco, and Christian Dixon. Those are the three two-way contracts. So I want to know, how much does that scream championship contender to you? That's all I want to know. And again, I don't want to be too critical. Just be it based on one signing. I'm still excited about DeAndre Ayton. I'm excited about Luka coming back stronger than ever and better. But how much does that move the needle for the Lakers? I want to know. I'll give you guys my answer, but I want to hear what you guys want to talk about. Yeah, I heard about it. I mentioned it earlier in my stream. I thought he was going to get bought out. Your boy's 3 for 3 this offseason, so let's keep that going. Hopefully, if we don't sign him, Beal or Lillard, I prefer Beal because he's healthier at this point, or Chris Paul. Those are like my top 3 backup guard options right there. Amir, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Jaxson Hayes, right? Yeah, he's pretty bad, bro. I don't understand why we brought him back, but then again, there's a lot of business that goes into it. Or his agent, Bill Duffy was probably like, we give you guys Andre Ayton, but you got to give our guy Jaxson Hayes another contract. Drop Milton for sure. Facts. July 20th, we have till then. All right, I thought it was the 15th. July 20th to drop him. Absolutely. Hey, what up, Kimmy Goat? Thank you for being here again. There you go. There you go. That's my girl. Shout out to Kimmy Goat. Always here. Stay with me, Dan. Trade filler. Well, again, he's not a trade filler if he has a no trade clause, okay, in his contract. So, yeah, I'm not with you there, buddy. I think you're going to have to see Jaxson Hayes for the rest of the year at least, unless he asks for a trade. He was unplayable versus Minnie and would have been against Denver, but that's mostly it. But, yeah, I'm unimpressed. We should all be unimpressed, right? I hope there's another move, subsequent to this. If this is the lineup we're rolling out there into the regular season, then I'll be really upset because, yes, DeAndre Ayton, he solves a lot of the issues we have in the front court with the starting lineup. What about our bench? We had no bench last year. Jaxson Hayes not helping that, right? We have to take a swing on all these low risk, high reward guys. We don't have a choice. Bradley Beal fits the mold. Chris Paul fits that mold, and to a certain extent, Damian Lillard fits that mold. Well, it's not official yet. Last report I heard is that he's choosing between us and the Warriors. All right. If I had to trust my gut on it, he's gonna go to the Warriors, right? But there's always a puncher's chance right there, right? But if Jaxson Hayes is our only backup center, it's frustrating. We know we can't really count on him in crunch time. We've proven it already, right? Now there's been reported interest in DeAnthony Melton, so something would have to change with the roster we have, and I do believe Shake Milton will not be guaranteed by July 20, so he might be the odd man out. But as much as I like DeAnthony Melton, there's other needs to this roster for sure. I think we get with Beal, Milton, or Horford. We should be better off with any of the three for sure, but we got to have something. We cannot roll this lineup out there. This lineup is good enough to win you 50 games again and be a first or second round exit. All right. Unless Luka takes us to the next level, which he's capable of. We don't want to put all that pressure on Luka and LeBron. We want to keep getting better. And there's still options out there, but we're going to have to clear a roster slot to make it happen. It's got to be a joke. Unfortunately, it is not a joke. My friend Horford is coming back to a city near you, okay? Unless you don't live in Los Angeles, and he's far away from you. But, yeah, we'll see, man. He's Al Horford still contemplating retirement. That's crazy. I hope he comes back for one more year with the Lakers. Come on, Al. We could use Al Horford, Grizzly veteran, and come in off the bench, set some tough screen, space the floor, and just do the dirty work. We'd love to see it. Peachy, what's up, girl? She said, bro, what are we doing? What is this about a de facto no trade clause? Well, I guess when you keep giving guys 1 or 2 year deals, that's what they get. Right? That's their prize. So, yeah, Jaxson Hayes is here to stay. All right, but if he plays the way he played in the playoffs, he's going to be the new water boy. Bobby Boucher, that's what he's going to be. The water boy. He's going to be on the sideline a lot. And that's the last thing I wanted was empty roster spots that can contribute. So I hope he levels up because he showed glimpses during the regular season, but he disappeared when we needed him the most, all right? Quick update. The Suns are still discussing a possible Bradley Beal buyout, right? Just a friendly reminder, the Lakers, the Heat, and the Clippers have interest in Bradley Beal if he does get bought out. So the Lakers are still players in this. And again, you might ask, how, Dan? Well, they got 15 players on the roster. They can cut and they can trade, okay? They can cut our guy, Shake Milton, who isn't guaranteed unless you guarantee him past July 20. We'll see. He has a de facto no trade clause because it's his 3rd year. So annoying, man. This new CBA, this NBA, bro, and the little stipulations and rules they put in there. Yeah. It has to be a 3rd stringer. We hope so. We hope so. Feels like there's another trade in the works. Again, we hope so. Rob cannot roll this out and think we're going to be championship favorites. If Rob rolls this out, then it means that the front office definitely wants LeBron to ask out. That would be the only reason to roll this lineup out. Not that I don't believe in this team, but the West got better. We still have work to do. Jaxson Hayes not going to put you over the top. Matter of fact, Jaxson Hayes is going to put you over the bottom. Yeah, Al Horford would be huge. Bobo, you know what, Amir? Bobo would be solid, all right? Not just because my girl loves to use him on 2K, but because he's decent. He's 26. He's got good size. He can face up. He can put the ball in the basket. He can protect the rim a little bit, right? Still not the big, girthy center we're looking for. He's not the Al Horford. He's not the Clint Capella type, but I like him better than Jaxson Hayes. And for the record, he can also space the floor. So let's see. Don't worry, everyone. He's a center who will get playing time when we're beating the Hornets by 20+ in November. And that's what we don't need. We don't need people that will, get playing time only during the garbage minutes, right? This is a Bill Duffy show. Luka Hayes, an agent. Expect more of these type of signings moving forward. Clutch is heading east. You might be onto something there. You might be onto something there for sure. I'm annoyed. Is this really what the Lakers are doing? For now. Again, we're only July 3rd. We're not even, what is it today? Yeah, July 3rd. We're not even on the 4th yet. And, I don't want to panic too much. But, yeah, it's not looking good if this is what we roll out for the rest of the year. We'd be extremely competitive for sure. We'd be that team nobody wants to see in the 1st or 2nd round. But beyond that, I don't think with this roster you can beat the Thunder. I don't think. Well, maybe you can beat the Thunder because of matchup purposes. But the Nuggets are going to be tough. The Rockets are going to be one of the favorites in the West if they can stay healthy. So yeah, I really don't like Jaxson Hayes, bro. I really wanted him to move. That would have been a celebration in itself. With the way he played, dude should be playing in the summer league, right? Right. Bobo is better than Hayes, bro. I would D Prince bring me Bobo right now. Right now, I'll take Bobo. I would have been more excited if Bobo was a signing rather than this guy. But hey, it is like a Bill Duffy thing for sure. Seriously, the Lakers are in great shape without Horford. If we can land Al Horford, let's not pencil them in yet. Right? Top 5 in the West. Well, that's the problem. We want to be top 3, Jonathan, because we already were top 5 in the West. You know, we don't want to be top 5 again. I want us to be top 3 or top 2. And, you know, that's where I wish that the Lakers would have moved up a little bit. 4 out of 10. All right, here come the reviews for the Laker roster. I see 2s. I see 5.5. How much we paid is just the veterans minimum. He's just getting the veterans minimum. It's nothing major. We still have the biannual exception. Hopefully we use that on somebody good, you know. There's a not so outside chance that we enter the season with Jaxson and Maxi Kleber as our backup 5s. Oh my goodness, man. That cannot be. Let me tell you something, bro. If that happens, bro, I'm gonna have to hit you with one of these. Can't have it. Cannot have it, chat. That cannot be our backup 5s when other teams got Capella and they got Steven Adams. You know, other teams, they're more stacked than us. That's just the truth. We cannot have that, man. I like the ratings, though. You guys are pretty much on point. This roster, as constructed currently, is not going to put too much fear. Now, we get a solid backup big and a guard off the bench. Now we can start having a conversation, right? Right? I agree with you guys. So most of your ratings are on point. Absolutely. Keith, appreciate you, Keith. Because our starting 5 cannot stop anybody. We need defense. We do. And this is why this roster still begs for a trade. And I don't believe we're done. But if we are done, then so should Rapalenka. He should be done as well. Right? He should get out like the gift. You know, there's no way in hell this can be our final product. We still feel like we're a move away. Why does it feel ever since Rapalenka has taken over outside of the 2020 season, we've always felt like we're a move away? And I love the DeAndre Ayton signing. I think that helps us a lot. That solves a lot of our front court issues. But he needs insurance. And Jaxson Hayes is not insured, not even by survival. All right, so we don't want to take that ride. Get this man out of town. Make sure you get his ass out of Dodge, man. And unfortunately, he's coming back. So now we have another year of this. But here's the thing. I believe the Lakers are still going to make a move or two, whether that's via trade or whether it's cutting Shake Milton and signing a Bradley Beal or a Horford or a CP3 or something along the lines. There's still plenty of usable pieces out there at the free agent market. Right? Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Keith. You're the man. Let's see. I don't think Hayes is that bad. He was gonna match up well with Gobert in the playoffs. However, before the playoffs, he was really good, even when Luka joined. He has his issues, yes. However, he's cool. I wish I could share your your enthusiasm with this signing, bro. I just can't. Let me tell you something. Jaxson Hayes, and I said this. Remember when I said this before the season ended? When we were all happy with him because he was balling out. I gave him his props. All right, it was around the time he said he was doing good. I said the playoffs should determine how much Jaxson Hayes gets paid. We were even talking 10 million, 12 million max. There's a reason he's getting veterans minimum, okay? Playoffs is where you make your bread. And this guy was unplayable. I don't know anybody who's excited to bring back an unplayable player. Maybe he was out of position. Maybe he's much better off the bench. I can agree with that. But the fact that he was unplayable, and the fact that he was beating women like a drum, yeah, that can't happen. I agree with you, Amir. Yes, sir. That cannot happen, man. And so, again, not a fan. I will have to be forced to root for him because he's a Laker, but not a fan of Jaxson by any means necessary, man. My nephew had his rookie card, and I threw that shit away. That's how much I despise Jaxson Hayes, man. But again, he is a Laker, so I got to show him a little bit of love when he plays good. But, yeah, I can't wait for the day his contract expires officially and he's gone. Need that 17 trade to go through for Whitmore. Now, Whitmore's not even guaranteed that he'll be a Laker, but it would be nice if we can get an asset like that. You know? It would be nice. He said, this feels like the last contract we gave D'Angelo Russell just to give it to him because he's there and no one was interested. Great minds think alike. I was thinking the same thing, bro. I was thinking the exact same thing. This was a favor for that agent, for Bill Duffy. We're trying to build up a good relationship. Like that other comment said, LeBron could be heading east, Rich Paul saying. So maybe we're trying to build a good relationship with other agents. I don't know. LeBron will have a meltdown if we don't have a vet in there. Remember when Keith came and he said he's happy to have someone his age in the locker room? Yes. I think LeBron will request a trade if this is the team we roll out there. And not because I don't believe this team can be competitive. It's more so because as constructed, without that missing piece that we've been talking about for so long, it doesn't feel like we can win the championship. Like, who are we kidding? Right? We need those veterans. We need those leaders off the bench. We need bench production. We had none. If I have to come back with Gabe Vincent and Jaxson Hayes as my bench, okay, I'm jumping off the ledge, fam. I'm gonna be furious this season. We need more, a lot more. The de facto is because it's to protect players. He didn't actually get one like LeBron, but it's so that he doesn't lose his bird rights and opportunity to make money because he kept doing 1 years. Fair enough. Still hate the CBA, brother. I'm bitter about the CBA for sure. He said, have you heard what the Heat want for Wiggins? They are tweaking. They damn sure are. I'll tell you what, man. Pat Riley, not only does he look like the hot goblin from the original Spider-Man movie, but he's acting like one. He's acting like a goblin right now. Listen, Pat Riley, we're about to build you a statue. Why are you trying to rob us, fam? Why are you trying to rob us right now? And you're laughing. You're laughing like the hot goblin while you do it. Stop trying to rob us, Pat Riley. We love you, Pat. You're always a Laker legend. One of the greatest coaches the Lakers ever had next to Phil Jackson. And he's trying to rob us, fam. Because that trade, and we talked about it earlier this morning. No, we are not doing that trade. We're not even considering that. Not even. He said, Rob was quietly praying LeBron retired. Probably. Rob probably praying LeBron retires after this season. But LeBron's like, nope, I'm a unicorn. I'm different. I'm trying to get my whole family. I'm trying to get everybody. I'm trying to get Bronny, Bryce, Savannah. Everybody trying to get in the NBA, man. LeBron knows. He got time. Bobo even more raw than Jax relative to what his ceiling is. I still believe in Bobo more than Jaxson Hayes, right? And last I checked, Bobo was a gentleman. So thou shall not slander Bobo, man. All right. We love Bobo around these parts. Chosen Fit. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you for super chat. He said trade Rui, Dalton for Wiggins, waive Milton. Now you have 3 roster spots. Sign Al and Milton, and you can have Bradley Beal. Is this our team playing? If this team is our team playing, I don't think we're as bad as playing. I think we'll finish around the same place where we finished last year. But I don't want another first round or second round exit. I want Western Conference Finals minimal. Minimal. Remember, we used to have full clutch. Laravia and Austin also share an agent. I just hate the way that the NBA has become. No more are we acquiring talent for their talent. Now we're acquiring talent based off of agencies. Okay, it's basically like the mob out here, you know? That's a 5. Yeah, for this team, yeah, man, it's pretty low. Pretty low right now, only because we don't have a reliable backup center, and we're still lacking a bench. As of right now, I'm not comfortable having Gabe Vincent come off the bench and lead our second unit. You know what I'm saying? We're out here looking like circus, man. We need some size off the bench and some real playmakers and scoring. Next phase, appreciate you. He said, we will end up dumping expiring contracts after the moratorium on a newly signed players expire in December. When teams fall out of contention, they trade. Yeah, again, this team is begging for trade, so nothing would shock me. I do believe that, there's going to be plenty of opportunities, especially because we have expiring contracts, et cetera, right? We have pieces to make deals. Question is, man, how long will it take Rob Pelinka to make a deal? Because sometimes he's turtle pace. Sometimes he's snail pace. Sometimes he's even worse, right? So, yeah, it's horrible, man. He said, our roster is not win no championship this year, Dan, and Rob should be fired. If this is what he rolls out, I agree. I still haven't given up because we still have plenty of offseason to go. So I don't want to overreact, but I am very underwhelmed by this signing. Nobody should be overwhelmed by this. He's athletic and he can dunk. Wow, great for 2K. But real life, different. All right, we need much better. We need some leadership. We need somebody who can set tough screens. We need somebody who can crash and get a second chance points. We need somebody who has high basketball IQ, can make good passes out of the post. We need somebody who can space the floor, preferably. Not everybody can, but if you can't, you better be a workhorse. And most importantly, we need somebody who doesn't get pushed around like a feather. And Jaxson Hayes gets pushed around like he's a middle school kid in the NBA. Like he's just getting pushed around. He's getting moved. And I don't like that at all, man. Like, what? Yes, he catches great lobs from Luka. Listen, Luka arms getting tired from throwing all these lobs, all right? We need more than that. We need more than lob threats. We need rim protection and all the dirty work. We need everything. We still need it. Jess Scott, appreciate you, man. Thank you, my friend. He said, thanks for this, Dan. We need to get the bench right. Guys who can run and stay healthy so our stars stay healthy. Man, you're very welcome, brother. Thank you for the love. I'll say this. You're right, man. We still need a lot. And I'm not going to be one of these channels that sugarcoats stuff and just loves every move. I was very excited for DeAndre Ayton yesterday. But today, this was an anticlimactic. And I'll be honest, I like Jake LaRavia's potential as well. I'm actually excited to see what he can do. 6'8", shooting guard, right? Seems to be a solid defender, very efficient, all of that. But those moves aren't moves that get me really, really excited, right? Jake LaRavia and Jaxson Hayes. Jake, I prefer over Jackson, right? But I'm expecting more. We're the Lakers, damn it. We should have our pick of the litter from all of the crops out there. No matter who's out there, we should have our pick of the litter. It should always be like that. And for whatever reason, it feels like the last couple of years it hasn't been like that. Can't wait for Mark Walter to take over. Maybe things will change. We'll be a primary now. Now teams are deliberating, man. All right, Julian with an interesting comment here. He says, Dan, call me crazy, but I don't believe one bit that LeBron will be a Laker by the start of the season. The writing is on the wall, Mavericks or Knicks. I can't call you crazy because I agree with you. There's a chance, right? Especially if this is what Rob Pelinka goes back to clutch with and says, look, you either take it or leave it. LeBron's about to leave it, right? But unless he has something else up his sleeve, I agree with you, man. I'd be surprised if LeBron is suiting up to start the season if this is all we have to offer right now. I hope they can put in and out burger in the membership clause for Hayes to get some weight on him. Man, Jaxson Hayes is I think that's who he's going to be for the rest of his career. He's got a JaVale McGee type body type, but he doesn't have the same JaVale McGee type instincts, which we were hoping for. He might be the most explosive center in the league. Who's more explosive than him as far as catching lobs and running the floor? Like, he's really explosive, but that's about it, man. There's nothing positive I can say outside of that 14-point game stretch where he was going off, where he was starting once we traded AD, right? I agree, BC. Not even an adequate backup, man. I was outraged when he started last season. The fact that he's our backup, I still don't feel safe at all, man. I don't feel safe, but hey, we'll see what happens. Chosen, I missed yours. My bad, Chosen. Let me go back and see. There it is. All right. There you have it. Appreciate you, Chosen. Thank you for letting me know. Trade Rui Dalton for Wiggins, waive Milton. Now you got 3 roster spots. Sign Al and Melton, and you can get Bradley Beal if this is our team play-in. I think I did. Didn't I read that one? I could have sworn, Chosen. I think I did read this comment before. And I don't think we're as bad as a play-in team, but we're not as good as a championship team as of right now. Now, a lot can change from here till the trade deadline and so on and so forth. But it again, it's very underwhelming. We were expecting a lot more than Jaxson Hayes to back us up, right? Goodwin is great value. I love the Goodwin acquisition. I love that. Dan, you happy about Ayton? That is 26 on his 3 team, but mad about Jackson? Of course. Let me tell you something about Ayton. Ayton has averaged 15 and 10. All right, hit me up when Jaxson Hayes averages that. Ayton is a big body. He's got rim protecting abilities. Hit me up when Jaxson Hayes consistently becomes that. Ayton can actually space the floor and knock down a mid-range to a 3-point shot. Hit me up when Jaxson Hayes can actually do that. So I'm sorry I had to take you to school, JoJo, but your comment didn't make sense right there. Of course, it's obvious that I'd be more excited with somebody who has more potential than somebody who has no potential and has already reached their peak. All right. We said, Bron is gone, bro. Hey, what up, Crazy? Good to see you. She said, Bron is gone, bro. I think this is the trade Rob has been working on the entire time. the internet will break crazy. My channel will blow up if that happens. If LeBron gets traded, the internet is going to collapse. And I'll be here for it. Regardless of whatever happens, I'm here for it. But you might be onto something. Again, the report was that LeBron was sitting back and watching just like Giannis was. And so if that's the case, I don't think he likes what he's seen so far. Maybe he likes Ayton, but outside of that, I don't know. He only had a good stretch because the team hadn't figured out the Lakers yet. Then in the playoffs, Ghost Hayes. I'm just shocked that somebody who played so horrible in the playoffs gets another opportunity on the Lakers. Like, I know for a fact the late great Dr. Buss would have never re-signed a player that played that bummy in the playoffs. Rob gonna Pelinka. Man, Rob is pulling a Lenka, man. I'll tell you this. Rob has a chance to redeem himself. Needs to start by cutting Shake Milton. And then he needs to sign a good player. Hopefully Horford, Chris Paul, or even Damian Lillard or Beal. All right, those in that order. And that order is how I'm prioritizing them. All right. Horford should be priority number one. You miss, try Chris Paul. But if he wants a starting role, then you move on to either Dame or Beal, because we need to bluster up that bench for sure. That's giving up way too much for Wiggins. Yeah, I can't do the Wiggins trade. Again, this guy, Pat Riley's trying to make off like a bandit after we're going to put out his statue, man. Don't do that, Pat. Don't do that. That is a lot. That is extreme. That is an extreme amount for Andrew Wiggins. But hey, everybody tries to swindle us. That's why you don't see Rob make too many moves. Vale is also 50 pounds heavier. JaVale was jacked. Yeah, man. But I think that's what, the reason I use JaVale's name, I think that's what they thought, and that's what we all thought Jaxson Hayes could become when we signed him. I was actually excited when we first signed him, and to be honest, none of these players that we have signed, Gabe Vincent, Jaxson Hayes, none of these guys have lived up to the hype. The last player that we signed that actually lived up to the hype, besides obviously LeBron James, is Malik Monk. And unfortunately, we lost him in 1 year because we didn't have cap space that year. So all I'm saying is we got a bunch of guys that obviously, never live up to their hype. Oh, yeah, it's my duty, man, to keep it a stack, whether people get mad at me or whatever. I don't care what people call me. But it's the truth, man. I got to say the truth always, brother. I don't like Hayes. Ever since he did that shit, I've been on his head. I've been on him. WNBA players more physical than Jaxson Hayes. Hey, shout out to the WNBA. They're very, very exciting to watch. If you guys are interested in that, I will be covering some of that over on Playback. Also, follow me on Playback. I got the Summer League covered. All right, just added that to the schedule over there. Very exciting times, man, to watch along. Got to make sure you get there early for the VIP pass. Now we got the membership, so members will be prioritized for the VIP pass. So definitely tap in over there on Playback, guys. We're going to you don't need all these subscription services. If you get there on time and you're a member, guess what? All right, you're going to have a chance to watch along your boys. Summer League should be entertaining. A lot of talent there, so tap in. Literally one center away from a chip. You got to fire Rob. It feels that way, but not just one center. I feel like we still need that combo guard. I'll be honest with you. I'll settle for Lonnie Walker. I'll take Lonnie Walker off the bench as a combo primary scoring guard. Thomas Bryant is still out there. The market is kind of dry. The market is kind of dry, fam. The market is kind of dry. So there's still plenty of options. Will the Lakers actually clear cap to get set options? Appreciate it, Jit. Thank you, brother. Hey, game recognized game, brother. Same to you. What do you think about this? In my opinion, easily a top four seed in the West team with this squad. Luka, Bron, Laravia. I laugh when you put Laravia. Rui and Ayton. With AR as our sixth, with Vandy and Kleber. I don't know. I think that's top 3 or 4 in the West. I can't pencil us top 3 or 4 until we get a backup center. I need every position filled, at least in the, with the immediate rotation. I still think we need a bench. I hope we're a top 3. All right, that's what I'm gunning for. We were already a top 5 last year. We want to move up and get better. We want to get out of the first and second rounds at least. The West is tough, man. You're gonna have the Thunder. Obviously, they're gonna get better. We're about to see their lottery pick from last year take the court in Summer League here, who didn't play last year and they still want to chip. We're about to see their 15th overall pick in Summer League. and they're going to get better. They still have a bunch of picks, draft pieces, everything. I still have them number 1. You got the Rockets number 2, clear as day. That might be interchangeable throughout the course of the season. Number 3, you have to slot in the Nuggets. They had a tremendous offseason. You got to slot them in there. And then number 4 is up for grabs. We don't know who's going to be number 4, but the West is tough. Got to be no walk in the park. There's no way, even though I love the 8 acquisition, it definitely solves a lot. There's no way that I can say, that we're for sure a top 3 team, right? So even though I would love to agree with you, I just can't do it, my friend. Can't do it. Well, he's the same archetype as JaVale, so it makes sense. Yeah, that's what we were hoping for, but we didn't get JaVale McGee, man. We didn't get JaVale McGee, unfortunately, right? That would have been great. All right, let me update really quick to see if we have any updates on any of these rumors while I'm on here on the live stream. Let's figure it out, y'all. Let's figure it out. Nope, nothing as of right now. I really hope that this isn't the final move the Lakers make. That'll be disappointing, right? My guy said, yeah, very, very true. The West is going to be tough this year, extremely, and it got better. That's the scary part. The West gets better, so we need to get better, right? Yeah, Summer League. I got you guys with pregame, postgame. Keep it locked here, guys. This is going to be a very brief video only because I wanted to break the news to you guys and keep it open just in case I have to go live again tonight if anything else happens. Now, we're hearing that the 17 deal is going to be completed most likely by Sunday. There might not be a lot involved in it. I'm just hoping we get Cam Whitmore or just an extra piece like that. Tari Eason would be nice, although I don't think, the Houston Rockets will actually move on from him, right? Just wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts on Jaxson Hayes and what I feel about him. I am not amused. I am not intrigued. And I'm not one of these YouTube channels that's going to be excited and happy-go-lucky about every move. But I'm still really positive about the Lakers. I still think we have a chance to make a move that gives us a true chance to compete in the West and in NBA for the championship. And we have gotten slightly better this offseason, but there's still some things we have to address. So hopefully Rob Pelinka is mindful of that and continues to address that. All right. I appreciate you guys so very much, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, to this breaking news video. I hope to see you guys back again tonight. If not, tomorrow for sure, all right, with my daily free agency update videos, all right? Keep it locked for all things Lakers, NBA, and so much more. Again, video brought to you by Underdogs, Prize Picks. You know the promo code. See you guys on the next one, all right? Peace.